Okay, right, we are with Donna Bradley from Wee Sweetie. So as usual, Donna, tell us about what you do, because I know you do boiled sweets and you've just started candy floss as well. So tell us about the product first.
The product is 100% handmade and natural boiled or pulled sugar sweets. I'm the only person in Scotland that makes them. Fudge and toffee, and for certain events we do candy floss in 13 different colours and flavours. Everything's completely made on the premises by me, from start to finish, the labels printed, everything.
What got you started? Was it a hobby, or you saw a YouTube video?
No, it was actually my health that got me started. 4.5 years ago, I was living and working up in Ayr as a psychiatric nurse. Beautiful beachfront apartment. I was a charge nurse, which is the top level you can be when you're ward based. And my health deteriorated, and I ended up back here at home with mum.
Okay.
No job, no nothing. Didn't know where to go, what to do. Because of my health condition, I've always when I'm ill, I live on sweets. Because it's the only thing that I can eat without upsetting my stomach too much during the day.
Okay. While
Giving me the calories to keep going and get through the day. But I was complaining to family and friends, my pocket was always full of double lollies and refresher bars and Haribos and things like that. But that was keeping me going, but there was so much rubbish in them.
Like E's and stuff.
Your E numbers, your unpronounceable ingredients, and even if you bought the natural ones, there was still a few products that I didn't particularly agree with, like palm oil or Cure gum, controversy surrounding them, child exploitation issues and that kind of thing. And my sister bought me a book. She threw the book at me and she said, "Here, make your own." And it was mostly toffee and fudge and chocolate based sweets that were in it. And I started playing about in the kitchen, making stuff for me to live on.
Uh-huh.
And then people were coming round for a coffee and they were trying it and they were saying, "Oh, that's really good. Will you cater for my wedding or for my kid's birthday or whatever?" And then it was, you really should sell this. So I put samples out in a friend's business with a questionnaire beside them, 2 sweets a week for I think we did it for about 10 weeks. Rate from 1 to 10 how much you like it, what you don't like about it, and tell me whether or not you'd buy it. And the response was overwhelmingly positive. So it was a case of, right, okay, what do I need to do this then? But it was only ever supposed to be a hobby and a reason to get out of bed in the morning, to get me back on my feet. It's really, really taken off way beyond that. It's full time and then some. It can be 20 hours a day. And it's 20 hours of me in the kitchen by myself a day.
Yeah, because you obviously have a domestic kitchen here. It's not a commercial one.
No.
So does that cause a lot of constraints? Or is it more you just working on your own, you're just maxed out?
I'm at the point where I'm maxed out. I put as much into it as I can when I'm well enough to. Once every 8 weeks I have to shut down production for a week and put out a notice saying the kitchen's closed because I get a drug every 8 weeks and it floors me for a week.
Okay.
That can be really difficult to plan ahead. There's a lot of people say to me, "Oh, what about the bridal market? What about doing weddings?" I'll take on a wedding as long as it's not too short notice.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as it's quite short notice, not too. If somebody came to me and asked me to make for their wedding next year, at this point I would say no, because I can't guarantee that I would be able to.
Now, just for those that don't realise why that is, because your sweets have all natural products, they have just a limited shelf life. So I can hear people saying, well, why don't you just put them in packets? So tell us a bit more about the product itself, because it's all natural, isn't it?
The product is all natural. My fudge, if packaged in completely airtight bags, all my products have actually recently been shelf life tested in the labs, and everything will keep for a full year, for the point of view of not being harmful to anybody.
Okay.
You know, bacteria kind of wise.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get food poisoning if they find a bag of my sweeties that were made a year and a half ago and open them.
Yeah.
Not going to do you any harm, but the texture starts to deteriorate after about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
At the very, very most. So, and those results only came back about 6 weeks ago. So I'm still trying to get into the headspace of everything will keep for 4 or 5 months. I've been used to kind of everything's only going to keep for a maximum of 6 weeks.
Okay. So will that help you?
It certainly will. Certainly will. Once I get my head used to it and get into that space of planning, because I'm not a very good planner.
Okay. That's good news.
It really is, and it means that, like, for the point of view looking for retailers will be more likely to take them on because they're going to keep for, you know, after, depending on what the product is, it's going to be between a 4 and a 6 month shelf life that's going to go on the end product before, like the sunlight, the humidity, even though the bags are sealed, it does start to affect the stuff. So it's a problem that I don't have anymore, but I haven't got myself used to not having it yet.
Yeah, because it's like a different way of planning now.
Yeah.
Instead of 6 weeks, it's 4 months. Or,
yeah. And I don't do well with planning. I leave everything to the last minute when the pressure's really on. And I like to, you know, if it is for somebody's wedding or somebody's party, I like the stuff to be as fresh as possible. Not that there would be any harm in making it a couple of weeks before, but I like it to be made that week. And every product that I sell has a made on date on it, as well as the best before date. And I just like them to be as fresh as possible. It's kind of my own fault.
Well, everybody kind of gets into their own way of doing things. If there was one thing that you wanted to do with the business, say you, whatever it was, money or time or health wasn't an issue. If there was one thing you wanted to do with the business, what would it be?
Make more boiled sweets.
To make more boiled sweets?
Yeah. It's the boiled sweets that I really love. The process, every time I make them, I get so excited. It's magic. And every batch, I kind of stand there at the end and go, wow, how did that happen? It's purely from working with a puddle of molten sugar. Just by working it with my hands and a pair of scissors. I have bought a very expensive machine that cuts them. I had to have it commissioned and specially built for me towards the end of last year. I don't use it because the end product's uniform. Every sweetie's the same. Whereas if I cut them with scissors, they're all slightly different sizes, slightly different shapes.
So you quite like that.
And it means that you get to keep the big ones for yourself and give the wee ones to other people. My toffee's smashed with a hammer for the same reason. People prefer it that way, to nice, neat squares individually wrapped.
It very much says handmade, doesn't it?
And
when
that's
it's not uniform.
I've bought expensive fudge cutters. They're in the cupboard. It gets done with a knife, and I don't have the straightest of eyes. So there's big pieces and little ones in the bags, everything. And that's kind of, you know, I have kind of tried to do them right. We'll do it uniform. We'll do it. We'll get the ruler out and we'll measure them all and we'll buy the special equipment. And
so that the passion for you is more in the quality and the flavour of the product, not so much whether everything looks perfect.
No. It can, obviously, if somebody was really particular and wanted everything completely measured out, I would do it. I will do or make whatever anyone asks me to make. That's part of the fun, it's part of the challenge. But the boiled sweets are what I really, really love. I have got 2 new retailers on board this week for the boiled sweets.
Are you allowed to say who?
One of them has announced we're going into in-house chocolates.
They're
for delivery this week. Yeah, they're for delivery this week, and I haven't made them yet.
Okay.
They took a stock. They've taken on some fudge, and we're doing a kind of mix up. They've got my toffee, my proper toffee, which they're covering in their chocolate.
Oh, very nice.
As well as having my cocktail flavoured boiled sweets and some of my fudgies. The other one, all I can say at the moment is it's on the shores of Loch Lomond.
Okay, so watch this space.
Yeah. I've done boiled sweets for quite a bit to do with reading actually. I've done 2 different book conventions.
Okay.
The Peter Pan, Moultrie Children's Literature Festival last year I made for them. We've just had, I've got a friend that's a best-selling author, and I made them for her book launch, and the book got to number 3 in the Kindle chart
Very
at the beginning of April there, and she kind of came back with a name, and because everything's so bespoke, I can make whatever flavour you want, I can put whatever you want on the label, so we had lots of fun with it and just went a bit.
That's good. I was going to ask you about the flavours. Do you kind of just concoct different flavour combinations and see what works? And
yeah, I'm very kind of, I do the traditional, I do the rhubarb and custard, I do the treacle toffee, and the treacle toffee is actually one of my best sellers.
Okay.
I've got a customer who, her dad has severe Alzheimer's, and he doesn't know who she is anymore. He doesn't remember her name, but when she sees him, he remembers that she's the one that gives him the treacle toffee.
Oh, that's sweet.
When she told me that, I did kind of well up a wee bit. So, there is definitely a market there for the traditional kind of, but no, I'm more kind of known for being a bit different with my flavours, bringing out things that I've never been seen before. When I launched, it was with hot cross fudge. I was the first person in Britain to ever have sold it.
Okay.
Now everybody's making it at Easter. Spearmint spruce boiled sweets at Christmas. Spruce was certainly not a flavour that's often used in confectionery, but I use locally produced extracts, Uncle Roy's extracts from Moffat, and he has over 100 different flavours on sale. And it literally starts off with me putting a spot of all the different flavours on the back of my hand and tasting it. And then if I'm not sure if it'll work with sugar, then it's a few spots of them into a teaspoon of icing sugar.
Okay.
It might. Okay, so we'll make up a tiny batch, which is like a quarter of a kilo. Or a quarter of a kilo of fudge or whatever, toffee or whatever. Right, will it work? Put it out to... There's never any issue with demand for samplers. I've got a kind of trusted band that if I'm not sure if something will work, I've got a trusted group that will assess it and let me know. And from there, it either goes out or it doesn't. But half the time, it's trial and error, and it's the fun of trying as well.
Very creative.
Then I would never describe myself as a creative person until I started doing this. I'm not arty, I'm not crafty. But there you go, it turns out.
I always think if you find the right love or passion of doing something, anyone will be creative about the thing that they love.
That's very
doing.
True. That's
so I think
true.
everybody has that bit of creativity.
I would always have said that I was the academic. Never stopped learning, never stopped studying, and I would never have described myself as creative, but there you go.
You've obviously been very curious throughout your life, if you always like learning stuff.
Yeah.
And curiosity, I think, is a good part of being creative, wanting to try things out. Does this work? Does that work?
Exactly. I'm a ridiculously big reader, which is why so many of my projects for bespoke commissions have kind of been book related.
Okay.
I still get, when I first set up the business, even though I'm in my early 30s, I'd never used social media. My background was psychiatric nursing, and I'd seen so many lives destroyed by social media that I was completely dead against it. I'd never opened a personal account. I set up a Twitter business account to kind of test the water.
Uh-huh.
And before I knew it, I could put out a tweet saying I'm making treacle toffee today. And off the back of that tweet, before the batch had came out of the pot, I had 20, 30, 40 bags on order from all over the world.
It is pretty amazing.
And I couldn't get my head around that. I couldn't understand why somebody would buy something based on me saying I was selling it. But it worked, and it continues to work really well. But kind of what I'll do is I'll use Twitter kind of as a kind of behind the scenes thing.
Mm-hmm.
So while the pots are bubbling, quite often sweetie making's actually quite boring. You're sitting there, you've got a pot that's got to come up to a certain temperature, so you can't take your eye off it, but you can't touch it until it's ready.
Okay.
So I read while the pots are bubbling, and I get through at least 5 books a week. And what I would do is I would tweet a picture of the book that was keeping me company while the pots were bubbling, and as a result the authors kind of started getting in touch with me. And that's where a few of my book kind of commissions have come from.
Now you have stumbled upon what I believe to be the key to social media. You're being genuine, you're being honest, you were talking about things that interested you.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't trying to sell things, you were just trying to be sociable, which is really what social media is about. And it's surprising that when you are that kind of honest person, you know, in the public eye, how people just warm to you when you're like that.
I know when I first set up, family were really concerned about me being open about my health. And I kind of thought, well, I have to be. You know, I don't want everybody knowing that I've got a condition that needs managed. But if I don't tell people, then people aren't going to understand that, oh, you can't get an order this week because the kitchen's closed.
Yeah.
And initially I didn't say anything, I just, put out a notice on social media, right, I'm closed this week. But I was still getting bombarded with messages and notifications and order requests. And I wasn't well enough to lift my head off the pillow, never mind do anything about it.
Yeah.
And I seriously considered it, and I thought, no, you know what? I need to just say, look, it's not that I'm away on my jollies, it's not that I'm taking a break. I'm actually really ill this week, but I'm ill because of the treatment that I've just had, and I'll be better next week and we'll be back to normal. So kind of the best way that I could figure out to do that was I put out a picture on Facebook of kind of me sitting in the hospital with my arm out with the IV in it, getting my treatment, and a big disclaimer notice explaining everything. And ever since I did that, which would be about 1.5 years ago, when I say I'm closed, nobody bothers me. Everybody accepts that I'm closed, and that's the way that it is, which is so much easier for me.
Well, yeah, because you've now set people's expectations of, look, every so often I am just not available. And they are obviously honouring that.
Yeah, I give notice, it's going to be next week that I'm going to be closed. If you want any orders, you need to get them in this week, because next week I get my treatment, so the kitchen will be shut.
Yeah.
And people do respond to that honesty.
I think so, yes.
And it has made a difference. It has made being honest has made my life easier.
Yeah.
And as a result, whenever I go to a market or anything like that, I take a charity tin, and a lot of my customers have been really, really generous. I think we're over the £500 mark.
That's good.
A lot of my online customers, when they're paying by PayPal, they'll add a donation onto the top. So, it's beneficial for everybody. Yeah. People know exactly where they stand. It was only ever supposed to be a hobby, a bit of fun. It's a lot more than that, but it still needs to fit around me and my lifestyle.
Yes. Now you, again, have hit on this thing that, I've had this conversation with a few people who, when I talk to them, they run around like a headless chicken, taking on absolutely every piece of work. And they can't get their head around the fact that if they set up expectations, you've got a really big reason for saying, okay, for this week I am not doing anything, I'm not even replying to anybody. But other people have reasons such as I'm absolutely exhausted and I've got 2 kids and a house and everything else. So rather than trying to just do everything, I try and say to people, well, set your customers' expectations. If you want something by such and such a day, you have to let me know by whatever the date is. And the number of people that say to me, oh, I couldn't do that. You have to. The customers become accustomed to the way you work. So if you work in that constant chaotic
which I do when I am working, and I do.
But you have already set up this standard that during this period, when I'm managing my health, this is what's going to happen. And customers, if they like your products, they go, okay, now I know, I shall organise my requirements accordingly. And it's surprising the number of people that can't get their head around that.
It's the same with, right from the outset, I said I wasn't setting up an online shop. And everybody was, oh, you're stupid. You're really stupid. You know, online is the way to go if you are getting most of your business through social media.
So if you're selling purely on social media...
If you're selling on social media, you need to have an online shop. And my worst nightmare would be that I announced a product today and I went to bed tonight and I woke up tomorrow morning and there was an order for 100 bags or 200 bags of this stuff that I've only got 20 bags of it.
Yeah.
And people are sitting at home expecting that they're going to have it by the end of the week because I've announced that I've got it.
Yeah.
But I've got my demand kind of wrong or that kind of thing. So I don't have any online sales. If somebody wants to place an order with me, they go onto the website or they contact me on the social media sites and they send me a message, I would like X, Y and Z. And I'll either say, great, I've got it in stock, I'll get it posted out to you today, or I'll say, okay, I need to make X, Y and Z for you. Can I check the diary and say it's going to be a fortnight before it's ready? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And it either is or it isn't. And that's the only way I can see to do it. Now that I know that the product will last longer, obviously I can maybe change that, but it would be terrifying to have that expectation there in online shops so people think you've got it. I know you can set them up so that they count how much stock you've got. I'm not interested in the website side of things and managing that on top of everything else that you've got to do.
Business is a very personal thing and you have to run your business around your life. So if you find something that works for you, then that's kind of the bottom line.
It is.
So
and saying no is a big thing you've got to learn.
Oh, that's a good lesson.
It's the hardest one and it kind of breaks your heart, especially when you're setting up and you know, up until the first Christmas, I started in April, and up until the first Christmas, I nearly killed myself. The hours that I was putting in, the markets that I was going to.
Because I wouldn't say no.
I was taking that week off to have my treatment. I was trying to, where possible, squeeze it down to 5 days. You know, I maybe wasn't well enough to be back in the kitchen, but I could nip out and get all my ingredients in so that I was ready to go the next week. Or the hours that I put in were just silly. The demands that, you know, somebody would say, oh, can I have this for tomorrow? 2 years ago I was away on holiday and while I was away I got an email asking, it was these people asking for fudge for their wedding. And I was getting home at 1 o'clock in the Friday morning and their wedding was on the Saturday and I agreed to it.
Ooh.
And you know, I was straight off the plane into the kitchen, knocked it out, got it to them, and then I kind of collapsed in a heap and I thought, you know what, that really wasn't worth it. What I did was, because obviously I was just back, I made the fudge. And it wasn't packaged or anything, so it didn't take me as much time. I didn't need to do the labels. It went to them as just trays, which they chopped and put out as their favours or whatever they did with it. But kind of thought, because there was less time spent making it, because it wasn't packaged and all that kind of stuff, I didn't charge as much for it either, because the time and the labels and the bags and everything are quite expensive, and no, it really wasn't worth it. And, you know,
less money, more stress.
That was what it wasn't even so much that, it was, you know, I can't have people expect that they can just click their fingers.
Yes.
And I will, you know, don't get me wrong, wherever possible I will go out of my way to fulfil an order if I can.
But you're not going to kill yourself.
But yes, and it was a hard lesson to learn.
Well, I'm going to, if we take a break there, because then I can ask you about what advice you would have liked to have given yourself when you started out. So just 2 seconds.
Okay.